our last story of the week. It's an acquisition here where Stripe is acquiring Privy. The deal's not done, but apparently it's basically done. Now, something is brewing here with Stripe. So as you may remember, Stripe acquired Bridge a month or two ago. At the time, it was the biggest Web 2 or what is a normal company acquisition of a crypto company, a 1.1 billion or something. Now, Bridge is a USDC, basically a stable coin infrastructure provider. Stripe acquired them. Now Stripe is acquiring Privy, which is a leading crypto wallet infrastructure startup. And it powers over 75 million self-custody wallets, serves clients like OpenSea. So what Privy does is it makes it easy for apps to give users a crypto wallet without needing them to install anything or deal with like clunky seed phrases. So like normally when you use a crypto app, you have to install a wallet like MetaMask or like the Bitcoin.com self-custody wallet. You have to manage your recovery phrase, and it is a point of friction for a lot of people. So Privy solves this in a way by letting apps embed a wallet directly into the app experience tied to your email or login. So more like creating an account with PayPal or Venmo. By the way, the tech they're using is called a multi-party computational MPC wallet. And so it's self-custodial, meaning you actually do hold the keys to your assets in the wallet. So it's not like centralized. Okay. Now, with Stripe acquiring Privy, it may kill the need for the flow of people using Web3 to go from fiat to crypto to a wallet. And it may make it possible to just go straight from fiat to Web3, like skipping the step, making things easier. So potentially a big shift here in making Web3 more accessible for like newcomers.
I'd also add that so Stripe has their own app, but they also provide infrastructure themselves. So if you're developing the next big Web3 app, you could potentially just kind of plug in Stripe's infrastructure, and then that standalone app just auto-magically can get fiat access, lower fees than like credit cards, much lower fees than credit cards, and including wallet infrastructure. It kind of falls into this whole narrative that you're hearing these days about app-focused, right? App-focused plays and how important these app-focused plays are, which I think is kind of the right way, right?
Yeah, so possibly a headwind for the crypto super app thesis, like that the thesis that you're going to have these crypto wallets as like the thing that everyone needs. Possibly a headwind here for that. You can skip that and just go straight to the app that you need.
Yeah. Also, that's the super app. There are all these companies that are coming at the super app angle from different starting points, like centralized exchanges, for example.
Yeah.
They're vying to be the super app. Robinhood and PayPal even. They're angling at it. Then you have the wallet apps who are angling for it. There's a lot of different things that you could speculate on about this. I think we talked about this before the show. I could imagine a bunch of apps who just plug in Stripe's infrastructure, and then once you've done it once you've entered into Stripe's infra layer once, you don't have to go through it again, right? If another app uses that same infra, it can be just like, oh, I know you. You've already set up a thing.
Exactly.
And so you already signed in. Here's your other wallets here. Here's all the crypto in it. And so it's already voila. You're already connected.
Yeah, not only that, but the sort of the KYC flow has already been handled once by Stripe on the back end. And you could port that across to your other apps without having to go through KYC again, which is another major friction point for retail adoption. Yeah. And then I think one last potential here that people are talking about is that Stripe could potentially subsidize the onboarding of people by some other yield, like through a yield generation strategy on USTC that relates to their Bridge acquisition. So potentially they might be able to eat the cost of getting people into this system, which could help them to grow quickly. Are there any downsides here besides Stripe just dominating everything?
Well, I mean, so that's
I guess that's
That's the thing that has some people concerned is the centralization. I don't know. I feel differently about like infrastructure centralization than I do about maybe, let's say, the centralization of Bitcoin into custodial companies and stuff like that. I think infrastructure naturally lends itself to reasonable levels of centralization. And so as long as that you have, and the great thing about this though is you're definitely going to have competition in the space. You'll probably have like that, what's it called, the Pareto distribution, right? Like, so Stripe, for example, might be 80% of the thing, but you'll have a long tail of competitors, right? Even in Web 2, Stripe is not by itself in that space.
Yeah,
right?
so that there'll be opportunity for people to win a bigger piece of the pie here. It's not over yet. It's still very early.
And if it's bad, if they make a bad product and everything, I think you could reasonably easy see them replaced, right? It's not like the gating that you get in Web 2 in banking, traditional banking and stuff, where it's just you just cut out completely, right?
So hopefully the market keeps Stripe honest here, and ends up the end result will be a good product for users.
Yeah, especially since it's starting with, I mean, as long as it's like this MPC thing and it's self-custodial, that self-custodial aspect means that the user can really easily pick up their crypto and move somewhere else.
Yes, you're not locked in, which
you're
makes
not locked in.
Makes competition. It makes it much easier for competitors to compete.
And also, you know what? Honestly, I could see it like this. You know how if you move from an Android phone to an Apple phone, or vice versa, Apple phone to an Android phone, both of those companies have devoted a lot of software talent to making that transition as easy as possible. Right? Like, hey, are you moving from an Apple phone? Here's an app that takes all your Apple crap and puts it into the Android wrapper. You could see like whatever Stripe's competitor be like, hey, Stripe is not doing a good job. Here's our custom how to move your Stripe MPC wallet seamlessly to another ecosystem.
Yeah,
right.
And that would be actually like a much lighter weight.
Yeah,
a lighter lift for someone to develop that app.
Yeah,
because
it's MPC,
it's
self-custodial.
It's like this modular thing. So okay, interesting times. I think we're going to be following this story closely and seeing how it affects the Web3 world.